All right, number 16, we're going to solve the equation negative 2 times the quantity of u plus 5 is equal to 8u plus 40. So anytime you solve an equation, the first step is going to be to always completely simplify both sides. In other words, is there anything on each side that we can do? Well, on the left-hand side, we can distribute the negative 2. Negative 2 times u is negative 2u. Then we distribute the negative 2 to the plus 5. So a minus 2 times a plus 5 is a minus 10. On the right-hand side, we're going to just bring those terms down because there's nothing on the right-hand side we can do. So step 1 is done because we cannot completely simplify, or we cannot simplify any further either side. So what's left? What do we do next? Well, if you look at the terms that we have, on the left-hand side, we have what's called a variable term, and we have a constant term in the 10. On the right-hand side, we have a variable term in 8u, and we have a constant term in 40. So think of it like this. Variable terms have a variable attached to them through multiplication, and constant terms do not have variables attached to them. So what we need to do is get these terms on opposite sides. In other words, get all of the v terms to one side and all of the constant terms to the opposite side. Now, which side you move them to doesn't matter. I could move all of my variables to the left-hand side and my constants to the right-hand side, or vice versa. So just pick one, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and move the variable terms to the right-hand side. That means I want to remove the negative 2u from the left-hand side. So how to get rid of a minus 2u? That's the question. Well, we're going to add 2u. If I add 2u to the left-hand side, then I have to add 2u to the right-hand side. Now on the left-hand side, the u terms are going to cancel. They're equal to 0, and we simply bring down the negative 10. On the right-hand side, we have 8u plus 2u. That's going to give us 10u, and we simply bring down the plus 40. So if you look at what we have now, on the left-hand side, we have a constant term, and on the right-hand side, we have a variable and a constant term. So remember, we need these terms to be on opposite sides of each other. So it makes more sense in this example to move the constant term 40 plus 40 to the other side. So think of it like this. How do you get rid of a plus 40? That's what needs to move. A plus, addition of 40. Well, the opposite of adding 40 is subtracting 40. If I subtract 40 from the right-hand side, I have to subtract 40 from the left-hand side. I hope I said that right. We're subtracting it from the right. We have to subtract it from the left. So negative 10 minus 40 more is negative 50 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, the plus 40 minus 40, they're going to cancel. They're equal to 0. That leaves us with 10u. So what we have right now is the variable term is on the right-hand side and the constant term is on the left-hand side. So they're on opposite sides. We can now get the u by itself. So let's continue. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. So now that we have 10u, think of this as multiplication. 10u means 10 times u. So to get rid of multiplication by 10, we're going to divide by 10. So if I divide the right-hand side by 10, I have to divide the left-hand side by 10. So on the left-hand side, negative 50 divided by positive 10 is negative 5. On the right-hand side, 10 divided by 10 is 1. Times the u leaves us with u. So our answer then is u is equal to negative 5. So it's important that you check your answers. So what we're going to do now is check it. So if you remember, what we want to do to check it is we want to substitute our answer into the variables wherever they appear. So on the left-hand side, I have 2. The answer for u, we found it to be negative 5. So on the right-hand side, again, we're going to substitute the value of u, our answer, which is negative 5, and then simplify both sides. Is this true? Well, on the left-hand side, we can simplify within the parentheses. We have negative 5 plus 5. Well, that's 0. And 2 times 0 is 0. On the right-hand side, we have 8 times negative 5. That's negative 40. And negative 40 plus 40 is also 0. Now be careful, your answer is not 0. 0 equals 0 is just called a check statement or a balance statement. And the purpose of it is to make sure the answer is correct. So our answer is U equals negative 5. And we know that's the correct answer because our check or our balance statement tells us that.